Welcome to the deep dive.
It's great to be here. So, what we do is take the source material you give us, could be articles, notes, research, anything really, and we dive deep.
Yeah, we pull out the key insights, the most important knowledge.
Exactly. It's about giving you that shortcut, helping you get genuinely well informed without having to wade through everything yourself, cut through the noise, you know?
And maybe find some surprising stuff, have a bit of fun too. We know you're busy.
Sorting through information can be, well, a whole project.
So think of this as us doing some of that heavy lifting, highlighting what really matters from the material we're looking at.
And today, we're plunging into something that many people find a bit tricky: personal finance.
Right.
Yeah.
Specifically, we've got some information here about a summary of the book, I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi.
Okay, important distinction there. We're looking at the information about the summary, not reviewing the whole book itself, which is obviously very well known.
Our mission for this deep dive is really to unpack what this specific summary is presented as offering, based only on the details we have in front of us.
Yeah, we're dissecting the description they give for it. What are the takeaways from that description? What's it positioning itself as?
Okay, so the core description we have for this summary is pretty direct. It says, the easy approach to smart banking, saving, spending, and investing.
The easy approach. That phrase, it really jumps out, doesn't it?
It does, because finance often feels like the opposite of easy.
Totally. Like, for anyone who's ever felt confused by bank statements or, paralyzed by investment choices or just wondered where their money goes, easy approach. Sounds pretty good.
It implies a clear path, maybe a simplification of things that feel complex.
Right. It suggests you don't need some kind of advanced degree to get a handle on your money.
And look at the areas it covers: banking, saving, spending, and investing.
Those are the big ones. Really the fundamentals, the absolute bedrock of personal finance.
Getting those four areas sorted is, well, essential for financial stability and eventually wealth building.
How you manage your accounts day to day, setting money aside consistently, knowing and controlling where your cash actually goes, and then making your money work for you over time. These are universal challenges.
So if you ever thought, okay, I know I should be better with money, but it just seems so complicated, where do I even start?
Or maybe you've tried stuff before and just felt drowned in, complex advice.
Then that phrase, the easy approach, combined with these specific topics, banking, saving, spending, investing, it sounds like it's speaking directly to you.
Yeah, it sounds designed to cut through all that confusion and maybe the intimidation factor.
It frames it as practical steps, right?
Mhm.
Not just theory. Things you can actually do.
Actionable habits you can implement, maybe without feeling totally overwhelmed. That seems to be the promise.
Now, the material also mentions the category. Money and investments. Seems obvious, but does that tell us anything extra?
Well, it reinforces the focus, doesn't it? It confirms it's squarely in the realm of practical financial guidance for individuals.
Not, say, economic forecasting or global market analysis.
Exactly. Knowing the category helps set expectations. You're expecting advice on managing your money. It sits on that digital shelf alongside other resources aimed at improving your personal financial health.
Okay, now this next part is kind of impressive. The availability. The list of countries and regions where this summary is noted as available is extensive.
It really is. We're talking Africa, Middle East, Asia Pacific, Europe, Latin America, the Caribbean, North America, basically everywhere.
What does that huge distribution imply?
It strongly suggests that these core financial concepts, banking, saving, spending, investing, are viewed as, well, universally relevant.
So the basic need to manage money, well, transcends borders.
Right. The specific tools, the banks, the regulations might differ, obviously. But the fundamental challenge of saving smartly, spending thoughtfully, and investing for the future, that resonates globally.
It highlights that feeling overwhelmed by finance isn't just a Western problem or anything. It's a common human thing.
Absolutely. And they also specifically mention availability in Hindi.
Which adds another layer of accessibility, right?
Yeah.
Reaching a massive population in their native language.
It points to a real effort to make these easy approach principles available super broadly, breaking down complexity barriers, but also geographical and linguistic ones too.
So let's pull this together. Based on this description, we have the easy approach to smart banking, saving, spending, and investing with this huge global reach. Who is this summary likely for?
Well, that easy approach language is, I think, the biggest clue. It strongly suggests it's aimed at someone who's maybe just starting out.
Or someone who feels intimidated by the whole world of finance.
Yeah, exactly. Someone perhaps put off by traditional financial advice that feels dense or full of jargon.
Probably not aimed at the seasoned investor managing complex portfolios.
Doesn't sound like it. It sounds more for the person who wants to build a solid foundation, but wants practical steps they can actually follow without needing to become, like, a finance guru overnight.
Someone who wants to automate things, maybe. Take the stress out of it.
That feels right. If you find yourself thinking, ugh, money stuff is just too complicated, this summary, based on how it's described, seems like it's aimed squarely at you.
It sounds like it's for the everyday person wanting to go from feeling anxious about money to feeling, well, more confident.
Starting with simple, doable habits. That seems to be the core message of the description.
Okay, so let's wrap up this deep dive into the material about this summary of I will teach you to be rich. What are the key takeaways from its description?
We've seen is presented with a very clear promise, an easy approach, focusing on those absolute essentials: banking, saving, spending, investing.
It's positioned practically in that money and investments category.
And its incredibly wide global availability, including in Hindi, suggests these principles are seen as universal, and the goal is maximum accessibility for this easy method.
So the bottom line from the description is, if mastering personal finance basics feels daunting and you want a simple, actionable system,
Something you can actually implement without needing a finance degree.
then this summary seems explicitly tailored for those needs. It sounds like it's for anyone wanting to build wealth through smart, simple habits, not complicated strategies.
Making it feel achievable seems key.
All right, here's a final thought to leave you with. We often think building wealth must be incredibly hard, complex, maybe involve huge sacrifices.
Yeah, that's a common assumption.
But what if the real key is just finding an easy approach, like this summary suggests, to the right fundamental habits? So consider just one of those areas we talked about: banking, saving, spending, or investing.
Okay.
What's one small, simple step framing it as easy for yourself that you could potentially take today in just one of those areas to move forward?
That's a good question to ponder. What's the simplest possible positive action?
Exactly. Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
We hope digging into the description of this summary gave you some useful perspective on what it aims to offer.
And if you want to keep exploring different topics and sources with us, finding those key insights, be sure to follow or subscribe to The Deep Dive wherever you get your podcasts.
We'll catch you on the next one.